Hey y'all, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. You guys can tell by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about everything Hbar. I know, there is extreme fear within the crypto markets right now. If you're looking at the fear and greed index right now, it is at extreme fear. A lot of, red across the board. And it goes back to what I've said on my channel on a regular day-to-day basis. And I know a lot of my viewers, will vouch for me on this specific thing because I've been saying, let's not get overly excited. Bitcoin could drop below 23.6. That's not something that you want to see Bitcoin doing. We talk about Bitcoin on a daily basis, and now you're starting to realize how important it was to be paying attention to, Bitcoin at those moments. I know not a lot of people like paying attention to Bitcoin when, the market is booming, but it's very, very important. Bitcoin finally made up its mind in which direction it really wants to go in, and, we are seeing a complete sea of red right now for the crypto markets. As I've said to you guys before, lock in profits when you see them. Do not get greedy. Do not listen to, YouTube comments. Always lock those profits in when you see them. But right now, going into Tuesday morning, we are seeing a lot of red across the crypto markets. And looking at Hbar's price, 18.4 cents, down 10% in USD, down 2.8% in Bitcoin comparative. Market cap at $7.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about 900 million. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. At the end of the day, if you go watch every single update of mine, I've always said how important it is to do your due diligence and research and invest what you can afford to lose. Because, once you overly invest, that's the biggest mistake you're making. Like, I cannot stress this enough, but let's take a closer look and see what's happening. But, on the bright side, I know this is not the best time for this, but, Canary Capital, filed for a spot Hbar ETF with NASDAQ. But if you're looking at the dominance index, if you watch my update just last night, we spoke about how, the dominance was obviously around the 60.95%. I said in a grand scheme of things, obviously it's not a time to be getting overly excited because, the dominance can literally switch up in a snap. And here we have it. Dominance went up to 62.34%. And of course, we're pretty much ranging around that range. But of course, Bitcoin, on the other hand, was able to drop below the 23.6. And what was really bad here was that, Bitcoin, once it dropped below the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level, we actually did not manage to close back right away. So, the daily candle close actually happened below the 23.6, which of course does not come as a surprise to me, the fact that, we're currently sitting at $88,163. We actually wicked down to here for the first time. I really want you guys to take a look at this. Bitcoin is not looking good right now. Bitcoin fell down to $88,394 for the first time since November 15th. You really want to see Bitcoin making its way back in the 23.6. If it fails to do so, the 85K mark is still on the table. So now that we have that out of the way, we can really see what's happening with Hbar's price. So literally yesterday alone, not 5 days ago, not like 5 weeks ago, literally yesterday alone, we were sitting at 22.7 cents for Hbar. And since then, we have seen a drop of about 20%. So in just the last 24 hours, we have seen about a 20% cool off for Hbar itself. And of course, it explains why that is. You are seeing, obviously, we came very, very close to this, February 3rd wick being filled in. And I've been talking about this, February 3rd wick pretty much since, we actually reached around this level. And of course, we came very, very close to it. So is this really going to be the level where we do see the price of Hbar retesting before we are bouncing? Right now, what you need to be happy about if you're an Hbar holder is the fact that we're still, remaining above the February 3rd wick. Because if it weren't for, the announcement that we have seen, I think, we would have actually lost this support or actually, fill this wick in, which I think now it has almost filled it in, but not exactly, of course. But, if you drop below this, down we go to the likes of 15.6 cents. And we've been discussing that. If you've been following my channel at this point, you know that. But again, if you're in it for the long haul, I'm sure, you're not really panicking at this specific moment because, of course, long-term perspective, the sky's the limit, depending on which project you're looking at. At the end of the day, no one really knows what the next, future really looks like. But of course, this is where your speculation comes into play, your due diligence, your risk, capability. How much risk are you willing to take? At the end of the day, time is the most important factor. But I'm sure the people that are dollar cost averaging in are excited about this because, of course, from its yearly high, it has dropped about 55%. We're getting very near the February 5th lows, and of course, I'm sorry, February 3rd lows. If we're able to drop below that, I think we could be making our way down to 15.5 cents, depending on how Bitcoin holds. If Bitcoin does not hold around these levels, especially get back into 23.6, because right now Bitcoin is in the danger zone, believe it or not, because we are breaking below this long consolidation zone pretty much since November. And of course, if we don't remain, or get back in that range, we could make our way down to 85,000 to potentially even making our way down to 80K. That is something realistic. I think that, can actually become a reality. But again, we'll keep you guys covered one step at a time. Let me know down below what you guys think. Love you all. See you later. I've been Crypto ZX, and peace out.